May I commence the proceedings, my lord? Tamil Thai வாழ்த்து.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமியில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
May I request the Learned Advocate General to give his farewell address.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, other Honorable Judges of the Madras High Court, Honorable Justice Sanjay Vijaykumar Gangapurwala's family and friends, Learned Additional Solicitor General Thiru A.R.L. Sundaresan, my colleagues, Learned Additional Advocate Generals Thiru Haja Nazruddin, Veera Kadiravan, Raman Lal, Bhaskaran, Kumaresan, Neelakantan, Ravindran, Muthukumar, Learned State Public Prosecutor Thiru Hasan Mohammed Jinnah, Learned State Government Pleader Edwin Prabhakar, Learned Government Pleader Madurai Thiru Tilak Kumar, Learned Government Law Officers of Tamil Nadu at the Principal Bench and Madurai Bench of the Madras High Court, Public Prosecutor of Puducherry Thiru Mohan Das, Government Pleader of Puducherry Thiru Ravi Kumar, Learned Government Law Officers of Puducherry and Law Officers of the Union of India, Thiru Amal Raj, Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Thiru Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu of India, Thiru Bhaskaran, President of Madras Bar Association, Thiru Mohan Krishnan, President of the Madras High Court Advocates Association, Thiru Isaac Mohan Lal, President of the Madurai Bench of the Madras High Court Bar Association, Thiru V. Ramakrishnan, President of the Madras High Court Madurai Bench Advocates Association, Thirumati Anandavelli, President of the Women Advocates Association Madurai, Thirumati Louisa Ramesh, President of the Women Lawyers Association, Thiru Selvaraj, President of the Law Association, and other office bearers and members of the respective associations, Registrar General Thiru Jyoti Raman, officers and the staff of the Registry of the Madras High Court at the principal seat and the bench at Madurai, fellow senior advocates and beloved junior advocates, representatives of the electronic and print media, viewers watching the proceedings online, ladies and gentlemen. Vanakkam and my greetings to you all. We are all assembled here today to bid farewell to our Honorable Chief Justice Thiru Sanjay Vijaykumar Gangapurwala, arising out of his retirement with effect from today. Being born and therefore retiring in the month of May is, in a small way, a dampener for a judge of the Madras High Court as the court is on its summer vacation. Of course, with technological innovations, farewell addresses and the responses of the retiring judges are conducted online and also viewable online. Even a flickering thought to deliver the address through the web was instantly dispelled in my mind as I wanted to be physically present. Your Lordship would have expected nothing less from me, even though you openly encourage virtual courts. In the first court, on the rare occasions when I have appeared through video conferencing, Your Lordship knew on looking at the TV that I was never going to do the case that day. If I did, I would be physically present. When Your Lordship's respected mother, Srimati Snehalata Gangapurwala, gave birth to you on 24th of May 1962, your parents and your family thought it fit in invoking the name of Ganga for your christening. Ganga represents the bounty of nature, being one of subcontinent's largest freshwater sources, and for those with a theological frame of mind, she also represents the goddess to protect Mother Earth. Though separated by distance, Ganga, or Gangai as she is referred to in our mother tongue, has always been close to Tamil Nadu. A year short of 1,000 years back, to be precise 1025 AD, King Rajendra I made a village near Jayankondan as the capital of the mighty Chola dynasty and called it Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Kashi, on the banks of river Ganga, also represents the final resting place for those professing Hinduism, exactly as its only other equivalent Rameshwaram, which too is in Tamil Nadu. Indeed, one of the largest priestly bodies on the banks of the Ganges at Varanasi are the ancient Tamil priests. When such is the interconnection between Ganga and Tamil Nadu, I must commend the foresight with which your parents named you, for your lordship came marching here like Rajaraja Cholan to take over the reins of this chartered high court in May 2023. While the Chola king conquered distant lands, your lordship conquered hearts. And the number of hearts deviating from the text, the number of hearts your lordship has actually conquered, res ipsa loquitur. Despite your reign being short, it was certainly fruitful. More of that later. For the record, your lordship was born near Aurangabad in Maharashtra to a family of lawyers, and it was no surprise that you too took up the family passion. While being a multi-talented sports person who excelled in basketball, tennis and cricket, your lordship did not let that affect your academic pursuits when you were made an Order of Merit student in the LLB examination. Your lordship started practice in 1985 in the chamber of Sri S.N. Loya. Experience in the trial courts as well as the Bombay High Court gave your lordship a tremendous insight into both civil and criminal law. The advent of DRT and Sarfasi laws honed your skills in those areas of law as well and made you an advocate of choice for the myriad financial institutions as well as borrowers. A knowledge, I must confess on behalf of the DRT Sarfasi practitioners, made it difficult for either party to pull wool over their eyes. Your lordship had also been the legal advisor to the Dr. Balabasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University and represented the government of Maharashtra before the Justice Anant Mane Commission constituted to inquire into the communal riots of 1999. Taking note of your lordship's extensive practice both in the principal bench as well as the benches at Aurangabad and Nagpur, you are called from the bar to the bench and elevated as an additional judge of the Bombay High Court on 13/3/2010 and confirmed as a permanent judge shortly thereafter. Your lordship took over as the acting Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court in December 2022, just a few months before you were appointed as the Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, a post you took charge of just a few days short of 1 year on 29/5/2023. It is ironical that by a turn of fate, I have been given the pleasure and privilege to deliver this farewell address to your lordship because since June 23 till January 24, I have been active in the first court both as a private practitioner as well as a senior counsel for the state. And since January 24, when I took over the post of Advocate General, I can say with certainty that a better part of the court working day has been spent by me in your lordship's court defending the state. In this sense, many of the important judicial pronouncements your lordships delivered are ones where I have been a party, and in that I personally take a great sense of joy and fulfillment. Further reports, let it be recorded that the first bench presided over by your lordship has been the fountainhead of several judgments involving constitutionality of acts, rules, and regulations. Soon after your taking up office, the Tamil Nadu Act to ban online gambling came up for consideration, and was declared unconstitutional in the lead case of All India Gaming Federation versus State. In the case of Balaji versus Principal Secretary, Your Lordship's bench upheld the Tamil Nadu Regulation of Rights and Responsibilities of Landlords and Tenants Act, repelling the arguments on legislative competence. And at the same breath, on the same day, Your Lordship struck down the Tamil Nadu Amendment to the Public Premises Act relating to Waqf properties as unconstitutional because of a supervening amendment to the Central Waqf Act in the case of Mohammad Hussain versus State. Your Lordship had a separate cost list prepared for just PILs and on selective days would take up these matters and give them a finality, which was a boon to the litigant, particularly in some long pending cases. In the sphere of public interest, Your Lordship's judgments in cases regarding preservation of water bodies, maintenance of public spaces, as well as Your Lordship's orders on land encroachment cases are far too many to recount. As I mentioned earlier, not restricted to these fields, Your Lordship brought your own skills on DRT and SURFACE while sitting in the first bench and had disposed of hundreds of pending matters. Equally, Your Lordship's long exposure to commercial litigation also came to fore, particularly in matters relating to tenders. In the much contested case of Tangent Course of Effica, Your Lordship dealt with complex issues of reverse bidding, disqualification, and interpretation of the Tamil Nadu Tender Transparency Act. On the civil side, one of the landmark judgment of Your Lordships is the case of InfoEdge versus Google, where Your Lordship held a batch of suits to be barred by the Competition Act and the Payment and Settlement System, invoking powers under Order 7, Rule 11 of the CPC. Yet another landmark judgment of Your Lordships on the eve of your retirement was in the batch of cases which was an All India transferred case to the Madras High Court regarding the erstwhile shareholders and bondholders of the Lakshmi Vilas Bank in the lead case of Home Capital versus Union of India, wherein Your Lordships analyzed the workings of a RBI scheme for compulsory merger of banks under Section 45A and the validity of the regulations and the proceedings thereunder. What I found surprising, even as I was preparing this address, was the sheer number of cases that have come up in the recent past in the High Court, in the various benches, not just the first bench, involving validity of primary and subordinate legislations. I may frankly admit that in my earlier avatar as Advocate General 15 years back, I would have done just a handful of such cases, whereas that number stands beaten by more than a fair margin in just 4 months before Your Lordship's bench alone. This is a positive pointer, not only to the growth of constitutional law, but also demonstrates that the citizenry of this country are becoming more and more aware of their fundamental rights and are also being able to move the High Court for redressal of their grievances. This is the most important foundation for a vibrant democracy and underscores the critical role played by judges and lawyers. For a judge, it is important to have knowledge, patience, and integrity. Many moons back, when one of my opposing counsels praised a learned judge in open court for possessing these 3 qualifications in abundance, and the learned judge turned to me and said, "I thank you, counsel, but what does your opposing counsel feel?" To a stunned court, I said that I do not agree with such praise because, to quote William Shakespeare, let us not make a virtue out of a necessity. I will therefore commend Your Lordship for a virtue that is beyond the aforementioned 3, namely your inexhaustible energy and your enthusiasm in sitting long hours in courts to dispose of cases well beyond the working hours. I may confess frankly that thanks to Your Lordship, it was one of those few instances in my career of 40 years when I voluntarily stayed back beyond the bell. Since the entire body of us present here are Your Lordship's well-wishers, any statements made by me on all their behalves will not put drishti or nazar, as they say in Hindi, as the statements are made not out of any envy or jealousy. In this regard, it is my duty to share with this august audience a remarkable statistics that I learnt only last evening, courtesy Justice Dandapani. In the 14 years and 2 months Chief Justice Gangapurwala has adorned the bench, he has taken leave and not attended court for only 7 days. This, I am sure, is yet another beneficial outcome of your lordships maintaining your good health through your sporting activities. For the record, before coming to Madras, your lordship had, in your stint as judge of the Bombay High Court, sitting in the principal bench, the Nagpur, Aurangabad, as well as a brief stint at Goa, had a prodigious record of disposal of cases. To elaborate, your lordship disposed of a total of 85,090 cases. It is oft stated that volume does not add to validation. In your lordship's case, over 400 of those judgments are reported in law journals, which speaks of itself. After coming to the Madras High Court, your lordship continued this with the disposal of 13,015 cases before the principal bench and 1,574 cases before the Madurai bench, totaling 14,859 cases in less than 11 months. As a judge of a constitutional court, you have, your lordships, in all, disposed of 99,949 cases, a truly remarkable and enviable record. Had I but known this a little earlier, we would have made sure that 51 more cases were listed and decided by you, so that the magic 6-digit figure could have been achieved. Very often in the past, outstation incumbents to the post of Chief Justice of Madras have found this job to be a transit visa to get called for further discharge of judicial duties at New Delhi. The members of the bar, as well as your lordship's companion judges present here, as well as those watching online, would concur with me that there could not have been a more fitting elevation than your lordship. Why should I presume that to not happen even now? As a cricketing icon, Virat Kohli said a few weeks back on his team RCB's chances of making it to the semi-finals after 7 losses, he said, if there's a 1% chance, I will make it 10. And from 10, it will become 30 and so on to 100. How prophetic was that? He did it with 6 straight wins, much to our disappointment on 18th May. It is our collective wish that something equally miraculous happens to your lordship in the near future and you will adorn greater heights. As all your lordships and my friends know, I cannot complete an address without a reference to cricket. Pardon my indulgence. Should fate have other plans, I will wish your lordships a happy retirement. This will also give you a golden opportunity to spend quality time with your family while not compromising on your future pursuits in law or elsewhere, and also continue your passion for tennis. I do hope that your lordship has got the full cooperation from the courts as well as the members of the bar during your stint here. With these remarks, once again, I bid farewell to His Lordship Honorable Justice Thiru Sanjay Vijaykumar Gangapurwala on behalf of the entire legal fraternity of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and wish him good health and happiness. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I request, my lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice to offer acceptance speech.
My sister and brother judges at the principal seat and at the Madurai bench, the learned Advocate General, the learned Additional Solicitor General, the learned Additional Advocate Generals, the Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, the Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, the learned senior advocates, and now the advocates of my adoptive bar. Malai Vanakam. At the outset, I thank the Honorable Advocate General for the kind words. I do not know whether I am qualified for the same. I accept the same with all humility at my command. Those close to me say that I do not emit emotions. I'm not an emotional person. But today, so many thoughts are acrobating in my mind that it has become difficult for me to concentrate and speak. On the first day, while responding to the welcome speech, I had said that navigating from one chartered high court to another, I would not have asked for the better. After 1 year, I reaffirmed the said statement. Friends, I feel that I have got more than what I deserved. I was born to the parents and the grandparents who professed high values and virtues. In school and college, I was fortunate to have good friends, the bond with whom still I savor. After 12th, I became a lawyer by an accident. 11th, 12th, I did science, could not get admission in medical, so I turned to commerce. After obtaining the degree of law, my father, who was a renowned lawyer and an established lawyer at Aurangabad, asked me to join the chambers of another senior advocate, Shri Satyanarayan Loya. My father was of the view that if I stay in his office, I will not have the sense of responsibility. I joined the office of late Shri Loya, and I think that was the finest decision my father had taken, because in the office of Shri Loya, I learned the meaning of hard work. My senior had already put in almost 35 years of practice when I joined his chamber, and with that, even after 35 years, he used to sit in the office from 7 in the evening to 2 or 3 in the night. He molded me. I owe my success much to him. As I became senior, I was fortunate to have a good team of junior colleagues in my office. They are all now well settled. I was also associated with Law College delivering lecture for 20 years. Till my elevation, I was delivering lectures there. And I'm proud to say that many of my students are now established lawyers, and some of them are district judges, and 2 of them are High Court judges. They are the judges of the Bombay High Court. After I was elevated, I had the opportunity to sit with 2 of the finest judges of the Bombay High Court that time, Justice Hardas and Justice Gawai, as he then was. I could learn much from them. And thereafter, when I was heading the bench since 2014, I had a good fortune to sit with many of my sister and brother judges whose inputs enriched me a lot. After I came here, I was not sure how I would be received. The said apprehension was dispelled the moment I landed here. At the airport, the senior judges of this court were there to receive me, Justice Vaidyanathan, Justice Mahadevan, and all of them. And I was made to feel at home here. Einstein had propagated the theory of relativity. Once a person asked him, "What is this theory of relativity about?" He answered in a simple manner. He said that if you put your finger in a boiling water, 1 minute will seem 1 hour. And if you're sharing space with your loved one, 1 hour will seem 1 minute. Friends, though I was here for 1 year, It seemed just yesterday I have arrived. This is because of the love and affection of my all sister and brother judges and the cooperation which I received from all of you, from the entire lawyers fraternity. I owe this to all of you. In this year, I gained more from this institution. This institution, the Madras High Court, has a legacy of its own. It is the premier high court which has to be credited with laying down many fundamental laws. And to the paterfamilias of this court was really satisfying for me. I have witnessed the arguments, I've heard the arguments during these years of the number of lawyers. And in many of the cases wherein constitutional validities were challenged and other important matters, the arguments were music to the ears. They were so nice that I felt that I should go on hearing them. And probably that was the reason why I used to sit for long hours. It is your arguments which prevailed upon me to sit for longer hours. I have great faith in the juniors of this bar. Normally, we say that our generation is good, the next generation is not taking much pains. I don't believe in that. I have confidence in the juniors of this bar. I have heard them for this year. And I have to remind those who say that the next generation is not as studious by saying that the law has been developed in these 75 years across generations. It is not limited to one generation. So every generation has contributed to the law. The Madras High Court, the bar of the Madras High Court, has produced Chief Justice of India, the Supreme Court judges, the Chief Justices of High Court, the judges of the High Court, senior counsels who have contributed immensely to this institution. And I'm sure, nay, I'm confident that the juniors of this bar shall carry forward the legacy. I would urge the junior members of the bar to work hard. There is no substitute for hard work. Hard work with honesty, integrity, and sincerity will take you to the zenith of the profession. Remember, an advocate is a badge of honor and patent of trustworthiness, not merely as an agent of the client, but also as an officer of the court. It is said that even if you lose your case, you don't lose your client. Even if you lose your client, you don't lose the judge. Even if you lose the judge, you don't lose your conscience. So be true to the conscience. I thank each and every one of you here for the cooperation that was given to me during my tenure here as a Chief Justice. And because of the cooperation of my sister and brother judges and the lawyers fraternity, I could discharge my functions as a Chief Justice. A Chief Justice alone does not do anything. Whatever infrastructural activities have taken place, whatever decisions have been taken place on administrative side, it is the collective effort of all the committees wherein all the judges are involved, and because of them only the progress has been made on the infrastructural side and all administrative decisions. I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. Mikai Nandri.
Thank you, my lord. May I conclude the proceedings, my lord? National anthem. Tea has been arranged in the ground floor of the auditorium. Honorable judges and guests are requested to kindly join.